Relax, Tina here. Now if you have any low back, mid back stuff going on, this next little sequence is going to be perfect for you. A lot of times low back stuff tends to be a weakened core as well as sitting. So if we do a lot of sitting, the muscles tend to pull on the low back, hence giving us some of that pain. So I've curated some of my favorite yoga poses to help soothe your back pain. Let's hop to it. Let's begin with hands and knees, cat-cow pose. So you're going to spread your fingers nice and wide, stack the joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're just going to move through the spine. So the inhale, allow the belly to drop, lift the tailbone, lift your gaze. Really try to pull your mat towards you. And on the exhale, you do the opposite. You press the mat away from you, you tuck your chin, and you tuck your tailbone. And then we just move between the two of those with your breath. Inhale forward, and exhale, tuck. Continue with your breath. And there's no need to rush these, so really use the full length of your breath to get in and then out of the pose. Then pause at center tabletop. We'll come to pose 2, downward facing dog. So let those toes tuck under. The hips are going to press all the way up towards the ceiling. Now if you have really tight back of the legs or calves, you might find you're leaning a little bit more forward with those shoulders stacked over the wrists. I want you to try your best to let the hips go high by bending into the knees, getting as long and flat of a back as you can. You can take a couple moments to shake the head out here. It might feel nice to pedal the feet so you can bend deeply into one knee and the other, one at a time. Loosening up the backs of the legs, bringing some space to the low back and the hips. Then let the feet go a little wider. Bend the knees and walk the hands backwards. Ragdoll, pose 3. Keep the deep bend into the knees. Take a hold of opposite elbows and just hang forward. Let the head be heavy. Less about straightening the legs and getting the hamstring stretched, more about releasing at the back. Shake the head, give it a nod. Next, we're going to come all the way down to your belly. So just going to walk yourself out, lower yourself down. What you're going to do is put your chest all the way down, the forehead to the mat, and the hands are by your rib cage with the elbows squeezing in. Tops of the feet are pressing down. You might even feel your knees lift off of the mat. And then without pressing up, use back strength to peel the chest away from the mat, and then to lower yourself back down. So with the breath, inhale to peel yourself up, and exhale to lower. So continue breathing in and out. Build strength through the core, the low and mid back. Squeeze those elbows in. And the next time that you are lifting your chest off of the mat, pause and see if you can hover the hands off of the mat. Squeeze those elbows in. And then release everything down. Come up to your forearms. So you're propping yourself up in Sphinx pose. Arms are parallel and you're pushing your heart forward. If this is too much on your body, you might be able to take it a little bit lower to stack wrists and the elbows out towards the side. So we're making some space in the spine by extending the spine. You can think of this as a very gentle back bend. And then we'll release by countering this pose with child's pose. So press yourself back up to tabletop. The knees can go a little wider and you sink your hips down. You can stay on the forearms or let the head drop all the way down. Nice, gentle releasing opener for the low back. Come back up to your tabletop and come to a seated position from here. So nice, easy crisscross. We'll come into a twist. So my right foot is in front, my left heel is closer to my right hip. I'm going to take this right foot and step it across. Now you can see my right hip hiked up. So if you're not able to keep that right hip completely grounded, you could also take this pose with a straight bottom leg. Let's take the right hand behind you and lift the left arm up. Wrap around that shin and take a twist towards the right. So this is half Lord of the Fishes pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Notice if you're leaning heavily into that left hip, bring even weight to both hips. Now let's take that to the other side. So if you have a straight bottom leg, all you have to do is straighten that right one, pull the left one in, and if you're taking the full leg wrap, then that right foot is underneath your left hip. Both of the hips grounded, especially that left one. Left hand back, right arm up, wrap around and take your twist to the left. Return to face forward, straighten both of the legs out in front of you, give them a little bounce. And we're going to come all the way down to your back. So you can scoot yourself forward a bit, lower down, feet are planted on the mat, and then lift your right leg into the air. You can circle around that ankle, and then right ankle rests on that left thigh. Let's scoop in that left thigh. Left shin is parallel to the mat. And you can stay here with some gentle rocks side to side. So what you're doing is opening that right outer hip that might be tight and causing some of that back pain. You're intending that right leg away from you as opposed to having it fall into your body. And then we'll swap. So let that left foot drop down. Right leg lifts. Once again, spin the ankle. Right foot down. Left leg up in its place. Spin around. Left ankle, right thigh. Let's scoop that right thigh in. Strong ankles. And you might take a little rock side to side. And then let that right foot touch down. Left leg in the air, give it a spin. Now hug both knees into center, right? Wrap the arms tightly around the legs. And then take the hands to the tops of the knees. And you're just going to draw a couple of circles, one direction. What you're doing is massaging out that low back, the sacrum area. And then go the other direction as well. Now let's let the knees drop all the way off the left side of your mat. The left hand can stay put, or it can open out as well as the right hand, and your gaze is going to fall towards the right. So a spinal twist, knees left, gaze right. Hug the knees back at center. And then let the knees fall towards the right. Gaze left. And hug back at center. So that's it. A nice simple class to get some loosening up and soothing to your back. Yoga is great for stretching, lengthening muscles, and also getting stronger, which sometimes we have pain in part of our body because there's weakness somewhere else. Thanks for joining today. You can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, Tina's Yoga Room. See you later.